Sliding into your screen is not just any coffee bag. It's a Roastar coffee bag. No need thousands. Personalized just 25 in Roastar's Design Lab. No design experience needed. Choose a pattern, add your logo and text, or create something memorable with AI. Being made in the Midwest, you can expect it on your doorstep in no time. Now that was smooth.
So we found a place that was like fine. It's kind of a fixer-upper, but like whatever. No one else is bidding on it, so
you got it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things where I remember this conversation. I might share this with everyone, but 10 years ago when we moved to San Diego, we looked at this house that was listed $385, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, single family, in a neighborhood we liked.
Right.
And I remember saying, I think the market's going to go down just a little bit. And I think that same house just sold for like $1.5 million. Like, what an idiot I was. Like, we could have just sucked it up at the time. But at the time, 385 seemed like $1 billion.
Exactly.
You know,
and now, like, you know, $1 million feels like it's crazy.
My first house my wife and I bought out of college was $69,000 in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, yeah.
That's why people live there.
Yeah. I mean, my parents told me their first house, I think, was $32,000 in Noonan, Georgia.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
People live in Wisconsin for a lot of reasons, too, not just because of cheap housing. It's very beautiful, lakes and rivers and all that. I've got something that I'm supposed to state, which is, hello, everyone. Welcome to the second stop of the free coffee tour and the Coffee People podcast, presented by Roastar Coffee Packaging. You can find them online at roastar.com. This is the show where we chat with people. And today I'm chatting with
Chadwick
of Regent Coffee here in Los Angeles. We're increasingly on location, so thanks for putting up with having to see me in real life. I certainly appreciate it. Regent Coffee Brew and Bottle House, York Street, LA is where we're at, but you have two locations, right?
Yeah. We have one in Glendale on Grand Avenue, Grand Boulevard, and then here on York, and we just opened a third tech-forward location in the Galleria.
Oh, okay.
Which is this...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's an automated AI arm that makes...
One of those that you see at the conventions.
Yeah, and it makes your coffee. It's actually, I went there the other day and got some coffee with my wife there. It was like frustratingly very tasty. You know, it doesn't... I made a joke is that there's a sign on the thing that's like, please remember to stir your coffee, because the robot can't stir your coffee. So if there's syrup in it, it all goes to the bottom. And so we got our coffee, and I remember taking another cup and tossing it around, so, you know, it would be whatever, stirred. I was like, well, at least I still have a job.
Yeah.
You know, as long as the robot can't stir syrup, I still have a job.
I always thought that I would always be employable because I can sweep and do basic chores. And that sounds kind of like, I don't mean to be jerky about it, but I've learned that a lot of people coming up now don't learn those skills as kids, because the jobs that were available to me when I was 15, working at Wendy's or at the local restaurant, those aren't available to kids anymore, because adults need those jobs to pay their bills as a first job or a second job or a third job.
I remember being in college working in fast food, and most of the people I worked with in their 30s and 40s. You know, that's what it is.
It's a different market, and I think that's kind of a lost thing. Like, I learned a lot on those jobs, namely how to, like, not take everything that my 40-year-old coworkers said as the truth later in life. But back to Regent Coffee, I was kind of perusing your website. I've been to this shop before. I think one of the words that comes up a lot is intentionality. And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about what that means as far as coffee, because it feels a little bit like a buzzword, but it also has kind of this this conveyance of meaning to this is a process that we're going through.
Yeah, it would be a buzzword if it wasn't like backed up with like I want to say technique, but that's not the right idea. You know, at Regent, we're really passionate about craft coffee. About we talk about the waves of coffee. And when I met Leon, the guy who owns the store, forever ago, I always felt like he was in this other branch of experimental craft coffee, where it was like not necessarily about the science, it was all art. You know, it wasn't just about doing things correctly and measuring things correctly. It was about what feels right, what tastes good, and who cares if the numbers add up. Like, does it taste good? And that sort of free spirit kind of has allowed him to experiment with really cool things. But the guiding light there has to be intentionality. It has to be that North Star of customer experience and trusting your baristas to have the kind of palate to freewheel it a bit, right? Like, and to go out and experiment. I've worked in some very constricting cafes, right, where we do this one thing, this is how we do it. But to be in a place where it's like, no, trust, as long as, I trust your intentions to make good coffee, I can trust you to do this. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thought, the idea that you put the right people in position to succeed.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't do it exactly the way you do it.
Yeah.
And your customers kind of grow. It's almost like an inconsistency that is like a benefit to the flavor, as opposed to like the opposite of, say, second wave is not the right word, but mass market coffee.
Commodity
where the goal
coffee,
is that it's the same.
It's the same every time. Yeah.
And that's definitely. I'm drinking one of your batch brews. I don't know if you know what was on.
Yeah, it's an
today.
El Salvadorian, I believe.
It's just been really lovely. A lot of flavor to it.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's a Guatemalan. It's a Guatemalan, yeah.
We'll double check.
El Salvador was last week. I had to go through my calendar, like, it's Guatemala now. So it's the Guatemala, it's a Finca La Pia. It's we have it on cold brew for single origin and on drip right now. It's a really great coffee. It's just one of those like easy drinking ones.
I was Googling you.
Oh, great.
I always want to put an E at the end of your name for some reason, Chadwick. But it's Chadwick Harman, right?
That's right, yeah.
Chadwick Harman. I kind of got the sense that you have a passion for film, a background in writing.
Yeah.
Is that why you ended up out here in LA, but then in coffee, or?
No, so I always joke my coffee career started when I was like 6 years old, because my parents wouldn't let us do Christmas unless they had coffee.
Okay.
So the first thing I learned to do as a kid was make coffee. I remember specifically saying,
That's
teach
really
me how
smart.
to do this, because if I have to wait for you to drink coffee, I would be at 5 o'clock every morning on Christmas, like starting the coffee maker, so that my parents didn't have an excuse for dragging things out. So then I went to my first job in high school, I think, was a coffee shop, a little cafe in a little town in Mississippi. I loved that job. It was a good job. And kind of traced the line from there. I went to grad school in Savannah, Georgia, where I paid for part of the way by kind of becoming a real barista,
Sure.
Kind of moving away from the cafe scene and doing the more intentional coffee thing of wanting to be good at it. Moved out here, for film and television, and supported myself by doing film, which I was really happy with where I was going. So I was able to leave coffee for a bit. Then the strikes shut us all down. So reached out to Leon, who I had worked with before, and he needed some help running his shop. So here I am, back in the saddle.
I have tried to leave hospitality, 100 times.
Yeah.
But there's something about this engagement with people that's different from just like running into someone at, say, the local market, right?
Yeah.
You are having this relationship that is weirdly intimate, even if it's only for a few moments a day.
But talk about I mean, back to intentionality, because like I have worked in fast food, I've worked cafes, I've worked, you know, in a lot of places. Working in like coffee shops, you know, these are the places where like I'm having my first child in the next 4 weeks, and which is very exciting. But I've got customers bringing me all their baby clothes, or bringing me things, and like, you know, and like there's a real, in coffee shops and bars, they have the same quality about them, right? Where like they are community hubs, and that's really cool. That's one thing that's it's unique to coffee shops and bars that you can't get anywhere else.
I don't mean to presume, but I think at a certain point in our lives, when we get a little bit older, that job you had when you were 16 was a job that got you some money, and you know, you could go to the movies or whatever. And even though it's relatively similar in concept and theory, there's an appreciation that comes with being a little bit older for this sort of engagement. You know, the reason I tried to leave it all the time is because I think I looked down on hospitality as a career. But at some point I realized the best part of my working life was this time I was spending learning the stories of all the people around me in my neighborhood, coming in and you know, buying the things and sharing a cup of coffee, and if they just came in to say hello, that was pretty great too. Regent does some really unique kind of specialty cocktail type drinks, I think, and bourbon barrel aged. Why get into that? What's the motivation? Is it a separator? Is it just because something you guys are passionate about?
This was years ago now. It must have been 2017, I think. We were at the brand location, and someone one of our regulars brought in a coffee that was barrel aged that they had gotten from somewhere. And I love whiskey, so I was like, let's try it. Let's jump right into it. And we tried it, and it was awful. It was just disgusting. But we were like both Leon and I were really excited about it as like, oh, this could be really cool. Specifically something that wasn't flavored like whiskey, right? It didn't have artificial flavoring to it, but was instead more intentionally crafted to still be coffee. And it tasted terrible, so I think Leon just said, I think we could do this better. I think we have the ability to do this in a way that actually has excellence to it. I left the company around that time, and in like over the like 3 years, he like just practiced and honed in a way to do it that I think is really phenomenal. You know, he spent a lot of money doing a lot of experimenting on like what's the best way to imbue coffee beans with whiskey notes. Because when you think about it, it makes sense. You have oak, you have vanilla, you've got some char, and just from the barrel itself, and then you also have the whiskey kind of finish to it, and it really plays very nicely with like what's already there in coffee. Have you had it? Yeah.
I haven't had yours yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I think
pour you some in a minute.
Barrel aged has like a weird. It's really easy to do it poorly.
It's so easy. Yeah.
Oh, I throw the beans in the thing, I close it, I'm done.
Yeah.
To do it, as you're saying, with intentionality, you know, you're almost fighting an uphill battle because of the reputation of kind of these Christmas packs that people put out for barrel aged. And so to do it well is a much bigger challenge. So I'm looking forward to trying that.
I think it says a lot that our number one, like online, like how we make a lot of money, right, is by people buying our stuff online.
You lost me at the making money part.
Yeah,
how does that work?
Make money. People buy our coffee. So I mean, no, but seriously, we do. So I restock the beans here. I mean, on a Wednesday, and by Friday, all of the barrel aged stuff is out.
Wow, cool.
You know, it's the only version of barrel aged coffee that I think makes sense.
Yeah.
Because what we're not doing is we're not like masking coffee with whiskey.
You were saying we're not masking.
We're not masking coffee with whiskey. We're not adding flavor to the coffee. What we're doing is instead, it's like instead of like putting icing on a cake, right?
Yeah.
We're changing the baking process. So what we end up with is something more nuanced than, you know, to use the cake analogy, you can have a coffee cake, you know, or you can have cake with coffee icing, and one of those is going to be really sweet and like candy-like and just like not. It's kind of there's no nuance to it, right?
Yeah.
But a nice coffee cake, like you're like yes. It's got some espresso, and I can taste some of that espresso, some of that chocolate, but like it's not the first thing. It's not you have to look for it to find it. That might be a bad analogy. Who knows?
It makes. I mean, I'm following it, so it can't be that bad. I mean, I'm only partially good at this show, so.
It's Well, I'm very excited for you to have it. When he first kind of discovered his way of doing it, that's when I think he started sending out coffee to get rated, like we were kind of talking about earlier. I think he was shocked at how well, these really judgmental, really picky tasters, were actually oh no, this is actually really good. This is not a shtick.
Yeah,
you're actually elevating something.
Shtick is a great word for what I think a lot of that market share is, and so
and they're not judgmental.
And I'll be.
They're literally judgmental.
That's their job.
Not in spirit judgmental.
Sure.
Well, what does it matter? We got high scores, so I guess I don't care.
Yeah, as we're we're sitting here right on the road, and it's a busy road. I make a policy not to do shows anywhere that isn't really loud. That's my
there you go.
Jackhammers, trains, that sort of thing. But when you walk inside the shop, there's a quiet and a calmness that comes with that. I'm wondering what it is about the coffee shop experience that you think makes people happy, that keeps us all kind of employed to some extent, but also is you can just as easily make coffee at home.
You can. And, there are days where I think, why don't more, this is not hard to do, right? Like this is outside of, fronting a few $1,000s, right? Like the coffee shop experience is not hard to recreate at home. But, I think of it as, when I've talked in the past about opening my own shops or when I've helped other people open their own shops and stuff like that, we're not making coffee. I mean, we are, right? Like we're literally making coffee, but I've always seen it as a coffee is a ticket to sit around and hang out. A coffee is a ticket to engage with people around you. A coffee is an opportunity to explore another culture, to explore things around the world. Right? It used to be you go to coffee shops because they had access to things you didn't have access to. And that's what you were paying for, was access to the $30,000 espresso machine, access to beans that you couldn't get anywhere else. But now, people can import their own green beans to their house now. It's not hard. So what we offer instead these days, I think the pivot in the industry, at least for us, has been kind of what we were talking about earlier. Right? We offer that place of connection. We offer that place where we say, it's a little cheesy, but it's the thing that keeps us open, right? Is you show up and I know you. I know you well. I know your drink. We can chat about things that have nothing to do with coffee. And I think you were sitting in there for a little bit, and I think you saw one of our regulars.
Yeah.
Not overstaying their welcome, but
enthusiastic and excited to be there.
And most people I would think don't want to be in their homes alone. So that's what we offer.
Yeah.
Even if you don't buy coffee, just come and hang out.
See, and I feel like I want to be at my home alone.
Yeah.
Very alone.
Yeah.
But then I also gravitate towards these experiences where I'm surrounded by strangers all the time.
Yeah. But we can. I love cigars. I smoke cigars a lot. I can smoke a cigar alone.
Yeah.
I can do that at home, and I do. But what I enjoy infinitely more, smoking in a circle of people around a fire in a backyard. That's a much more engaging experience than just by myself. And I think anything that has a ritual attached to it, which we all know coffee has a huge ritual attached to it, we prefer to ritualize in public and around people that share that ritual with us. And coffee is that thing. You can, to borrow the bar analogy, you can get drunk at home, and plenty of people do. But bars aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah. It's much more expensive to get drunk in a bar than it is to get drunk at home.
I don't know that I could get drunk in a bar because I would be terrified to drive home.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is a different generational thing now.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like you've said a lot of really intelligent, wise things I'm going to enjoy listening back to. But I'm wondering if as I'm collecting advice from people around the country, and Roastars asked me to do this to, especially from coffee people. Any advice you have for people, generally speaking, about coffee or otherwise, that something that's meant something to you?
Yeah, I was talking with a sommelier a few weeks ago, and they said something that I thought was really, really wise, which was, I didn't get into being a sommelier to be a gatekeeper for how to experience wine. If you think something tastes good, awesome. Let's talk about why you think it tastes good. And when I first started out as a barista, I was so nerdy about it. We all go through that phase. It's like, I love it. You dive into the science, you dive into the math. Why is this good? Why is this bad? I have a clear system for describing good and bad, right? Like, we love that as people. Good systems for that's good, that's bad. But growing up is realizing there's a million ways to enjoy it. Roasted bean juice, right? Like, we can deconstruct it, we can understand it a million ways, but like giving other people space to enjoy what they enjoy is something I learned maybe too late in the coffee game, and it's something I think we do really well here. I think that's the best thing we can offer, like non-exclusionary places, hoity-toity places, right? That we can go as deep or as wide as you want to. I'm just here. I'm a librarian. I'm just here for as much as you want to research. I'm here for you.
I've never heard anyone refer to it as that before. I like that, librarian. I also like libraries, so that works out.
Libraries, coffees, similar vibes too. Reflective vibes.
I always close shows out by asking one of two questions, and I think I'm going to ask you both.
Okay.
The first is, when you go out to a coffee shop that's not Regent, what are you going to order?
I used to order an espresso shot and a cappuccino, because I love cappuccinos, and of course then back then I wanted to be like, well, is your espresso any good? I'm going to judge you on your espresso.
Is it dialed in?
Is it dialed in correctly?
Yeah.
And I realized I could do both of those things with one drink. Cortado.
Yeah.
I just drink cortados now. It gives me it lets me know like if the shop I'm at cares about their espresso, because the espresso comes through plenty clear enough, and I get a little bit of my like nice sweet milk with it, and but I also have really recently started to love spicy lattes. I'm a big fan.
Sure.
We do a spicy latte here using Scotch bonnet honey. It's really fantastic. So like something that's like a little bit outside the bounds of a normal sweet drink, something with a bit more of experience to it. Those are the two things I'm drinking, is like something like wildly out of bounds, and then just like something very standard and normal,
My wife always orders a spicy chai latte, and I always accidentally drink a little bit of it before I give it to her.
Yeah.
And then my last question then for you today is favorite Keanu Reeves movie?
Oh my God. I mean, what era?
That's
such a hard thing.
That's the thing. He's got range.
He's Picasso, man. Like, which era are we talking about? Are we talking about like classic Keanu?
Is it the favorite, or is it the one you watch over and over?
I mean, if we're going one I watch over and over, my favorite has to be it's John Wick 3, man.
Oh, John Wick 3. I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. A critic once described that film as a ballet of violence, and I thought that's exactly what that movie was. And I don't know. I don't know anyone else who can make those movies work.
Yeah.
As that way.
I read a story recently about how for the more recent John Wicks, he charged them per word in the script. So however many words he had to say, they had to pay him a certain amount of money based on that to get them to cut the script back.
That's so funny. I hope, is that true?
I mean, I read that. I don't know if it's true.
Because he's such a nice, cool guy.
Yeah.
I love, I guess he's a storied, nice, good guy. I don't know him, so I don't know for a fact if he is or isn't. He's, that's his persona.
If he walked up right now, dude, that'd be so the most incredible closer to this episode.
Wouldn't that be awesome? You just like say, oh, by the way, let's get him on FaceTime right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I now I have to meet him because I want to ask him that question.
Yeah.
John Wick 3, you know, was like, oh man, Keanu he's never been better, and more specifically, he's not getting worse. Like, you know, like that's crazy.
He's the same guy.
He's the same guy. But then Bill and Ted, runner up.
All the way back.
Yeah.
What should we know? What did we miss today? How can people find Regent Coffee? What's the best way to get a cup?
Yeah, find us, you know, on Instagram. Find us on, Instagram, I think. It's the only one that I'm aware of, at Regent Coffee. If you're in Los Angeles, come by. You know, we have this location in Highland Park. We have a location in Glendale. We have the cool new fancy mall location. That's fun. We offer latte art classes. We offer coffee roasting classes. You know, we're really trying not to gatekeep what we do. Like, if you want to be an at-home barista, be an at-home barista. But, you know, learn from baristas. We'd love to show you how to do it and how to make, you know, how to impress your friends. Like we're here to have a good time. So join us along the way, you know.
Well, Chadwick, I appreciate the time and the coffee. And I'm gonna go and try that bourbon barrel.
Let's do it, man. Let's hit you up. Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
I'm gonna.
Keanu. What's up, dude?
Yeah, there he is. Yesterday I was doing this in San Juan Capistrano, and I did 2 interviews, and during both interviews it was like there was a guy across the street looking at me, and he'd see me press the button and he'd start a jackhammer. And then he would stop as soon as I was done, and then like an hour later I started another one, and he started again. And I just laugh. It just makes me like so happy that these shows audio is so goofy.